Today on a special Detroit Muscle, we pay off our Power Stop giveaway challenger in the most spectacular of ways. You're gonna love this.
Our Power Stop Challenger build is complete and ready to roll, but let's take a look at where we've been. When we picked up this stock 2010 SRT8, it was already a formidable machine. 425 horsepower from the factory ain't no joke.
But you know us, we think we can do better, starting with new suspension components to get it lower and stiffer, as well as a set of Power Stop brakes all the way around to make it stop on a dime. The guys in Engine Power did the dirty work of getting that 6.1 liter stroked out and rebuilt with a new displacement of 426 cubic inches.
Then we wedged that bad boy back into the engine bay and got a beefed up 5-speed automatic to back it up. Then a set of 67mm twin turbos got buckled in to feed it air. Next came the wrap to give this car a distinctive look that recalls classic Mopar styling cues, and then time to put up or shut up on the dyno, where she made 728 at the wheels.
Hey y'all, welcome to Detroit Muscle. Today is the day that we finally get to take our Power Stop Ultimate Challenger and run this thing through the ringer.
And like we said from the beginning of this project, we're gonna put it up against a Hellcat. So we got a whole litter of them.
Right now, the apex predator in the muscle car world is none other than Dodge's monstrous Hellcat. We found the perfect place to pit our Power Stop Challenger against them. Right outside of Phoenix, Arizona is one of the most amazing places for any gearhead to spend some time, the Bondurant Racing School.
Arguably one of the best drivers to ever walk the face of the earth, Bob Bondurant was part of the Shelby American team that went up against the mighty Ferrari in the World Manufacturers Championship Series in 1964 and 65. After a disappointing 64 season mired in politics, the 65 season showed the American team outpacing their European rivals on almost every course, with Bob earning more points alone than the entire Ferrari driving team. In the legendary Shelby Daytona Coupes and Ford GT40. It was in Reims, France, where Bob and co-driver Joe Schlescher brought the Daytonas to a photo finish and sealed the championship for the Americans.
I always wanted to race in Europe against the world's best, and that's where they are. And we did that and had a fantastic time and won the World Manufacturers Championship at Reims, France. And that's where the champagne is made at Reims. So we celebrated wholeheartedly. It was great.
After a devastating wreck in 1967 at Watkins Glen, doctors told Bob he would never walk again. But through courage and determination, he defied the odds and started the world's most famous racing school.
I teach differently than anyone else. I wanted a student to feel what the car is doing. Otherwise, they're just sitting there trying to drive it. But you want to feel that machine.
At the Bondurant School, you have a safe, controlled environment where you get to do things that you will never get to repeat out on the highway, but we're preparing you for the unexpected.
So here we are, where the rubber meets the road with a set of souped-up Challengers ready to take on the Bondurant Raceway. Power Stop is the official brake of Bondurant, and all of their cars run Power Stop components.
You have to have good brakes. You have to have good brakes. And at the Bondurant School, everything we do here is first quality. It's above industry standard, no matter what we do, no matter what we touch. We're very proud of the company that we keep, and we only keep company with the best.
Well, welcome to the Bob Bondurant School of High Performance Driving. I want to say welcome and thank you very much for coming out and spending some of your time with us.
Before we get to start ramming and jamming in all those Dodges, there's a few things to get out of the way. After an introduction, we'll go on a tour of the facility. The shop is where the real magic happens, with each car spending time being checked over and freshened up every day. Then we'll take a walk to the main track and jump in some big old vans for a run around the course.
You don't see a van do that every day. We're riding with our instructor, Will Parker, who we'll be spending our 3 days with. What do you have here? Acceleration. Yeah. We're back in the classroom where we learn all about the Bondurant method of car control, and it's a real eye-opener. You should be looking where you want to go.
Don't worry about the chaos. Put the car where you want it to be.
All right, so this is our first chance of getting behind the wheel here at Bondurant, and they're putting us behind the wheel of none other than a Hellcat. So we're actually gonna get strapped in here, and they're gonna get us out on the course. We're gonna do a little bit of slalom action, see what these things can do.
One of the first things we're taught is to straighten out the car and let the suspension settle to neutral between cones, because this maximizes the amount of tire grip the car has going onto the next turn. After each pass, we come back around to the instructors and they give us tips to improve.
Okay, look at 2 or 3 gates ahead of yourself. Yeah, all right, and let your lower peripheral take care of the cone that's getting close to the front of your car. Steady throttle all the way through. Get to 40 as quickly as you can.
After about an hour of slinging those Challengers back and forth, it's back in the classroom for more on turning and suspension.
Once you start feeling that grip, you can go ahead and start angling that car. Once you get that angle, get back onto the throttle.
We're finding out really quick how complicated some of this stuff is. Dang.
Stick around and go for a ride in the skid car.
Hey, we're back at the Bondurant Racing School where we've brought out our Power Stop Ultimate Challenger giveaway car to go head-to-head with some Hellcats. It's about 115 degrees here in Phoenix, and it's time for the skid car.
The way this works is the car has this frame attached to the bottom, and it lifts up either the front or the rear tires to induce the slide. Boy, it can get away from you pretty quick. We're riding with our instructor, Will Parker, who's talking us through car control in a slide.
Feel it slide, react to it, look where you want to go, settle it, straighten it out, you're good, just like that.
And just when you think you've really got it down, but soon we're back in the Challengers for a collision avoidance exercise. You run up to about 40 miles an hour, then lane shift in a controlled manner.
So make sure we're doing a nice lift off of that throttle, get that nose down, turn nice and aggressive into that open lane, and then squeeze back onto that throttle.
Mark's driving's pretty good. You know, he's pretty alert, he's looking ahead. He really seems to feel the car, and that's a good thing for sure. Tommy's doing equally as good. He's got a little bit too heavy of a right foot, which is also fun, but not always the right thing to have at times.
To round out day one, we'll put our helmets on and do a follow along with the instructors out on the main track. It's not time for high-speed maneuvering yet, but this is a great way to get a feel for driving the car at speed.
Cannot believe how these Hellcats and these Vipers are holding up in this heat. You cannot believe it.
Very important.
And to brakes, you know, brakes are extremely sensitive to higher altitudes. They're extremely sensitive, you know, to heat, to humidity, and on and on and on.
It's day 2 here at Bondurant, and today we're gonna get to spend a lot more time behind the wheel of these Hellcats.
Yeah, we got a couple of exercises we're going to be doing. One of them involves some braking. The other one is called heel and toe. Old Slick there may not be as excited once we find out how hard this heel and toe business is. It involves using your right foot to run both the throttle and the brake during the downshift.
When you come into a corner and downshift, if the engine speed isn't matched to the wheel speed, at the very least it will slow you down. And at worst, it will throw too much weight onto the front tires and cause oversteer and possibly loss of control.
Brake in, clutch in, downshift, rev match, clutch comes out. And see, when it's done in a slow order like that, it makes it very, very easy because you only have one thing to think of at a time.
It's hard as heck, dude. Hard as heck. The real trick here is to figure out the best place to put your foot, and then get the timing down.
Hang around and watch the Power Stop Challenger come out swinging.
We're back at Bondurant Racing School hanging out with some Vipers and stuff. But you know us, we're all about muscle, baby. Time for some braking exercises. Thank goodness for those power stop brakes on these things.
So what we're doing here is we're doing a brake maneuver where they're telling us which set of cones to start applying the brakes. So this is what we're doing. We're going to have to do the second cones and then brake. More brake pressure than last time and end up in between the cones here. And then we go back around and we're going to get critiqued. So see what happens. Got a thumbs up. Yeah. The next exercise takes things a step further, and you brake hard while jumping lanes.
All right, now we're fixing to start an autocross course, if you will. Now, if you guys remember back, I did one and wasn't very good at all. So I'm hoping now that I can apply some of those skills that them boys have been showing us and make a pretty good comeback.
All right, so you're sitting at you just got underneath a minute, 59.93. So you knocked off well over a second.
Things are really coming together for me. As for Mark, heck, he's head of the class.
Best time of the day right there. Busting 59, you're at the 58's high.
Nice.
58 high.
Then Mr. Producer put Will in something to come out and spank us with. Here we go. Let's see how that Power Stop car hangs with the Hellcats. It's impressive to see somebody who's this good at making a car do what they want it to do. And Will is pushing that big red Dodge to its limits.
Ha! Mark ain't in first place no more. Will's got him beat in the Power Stop car by a couple of seconds.
You know, these two guys have done a fantastic job for me for the past couple of days. We're in the morning of day 3, just before we go to the racetrack, kind of the last training exercise before we go to the racetrack. They're focusing on heel-toe downshifting. It's a road racing technique. We're focusing on straight line braking, trail braking, which is another road racing technique. But they're focusing on how to get the car through the corner efficiently. They were pretty good when they showed up. You know, I'd say that they had a giant open mind, willing to listen to everything I had to say, not looking at me like they had the experience, but they understood that I knew what I was talking about and could coach them in the right way. And they have soaked it in like a sponge. They have done everything I've asked. They've made mistakes. They've pushed it too hard. They've driven it too weak. And they've learned from it.
Last day at the Bondurant, and guess who takes our Challenger for a spin?
Day 3 3, and we finally get to go on track at high speed with our Hellcats. We're following Will in car number 1, me in 2, and Tommy in 3.
This is where we get to apply all the things we've learned over the last 3 days and push these cars as hard as we can. We also asked Will to put on a little bit of a show for the cameras, and he was happy to oblige.
Here goes Will, making us look bad again.
When you boil it all down to a teaspoon, I'm teaching you car control.
We're out here having the time of our lives, but we're about to get our butts kicked because the man himself is coming on the track in the Power Stop car. And son, that feller can drive. Mark decided to try and chase him down in his Hellcat. That wasn't going to happen. Little by little, Bob pulled away from him in the red car. And he makes it look easy.
What'd you think?
This thing's nice and fast.
I think the car that you guys built after driving it, it's exactly what you went after. It's the equalizer to that Hellcat. Awesome car. I dig it. I dig it. You guys did the goal.
It's time to graduate. On top of everything, we even got Bob to sign the dash of our giveaway Challenger. And it looks like we're gonna need some new rear tires.
This car really hauls ass.
We've had a great time here at the Bondurant School, but before we give this thing away to one of you lucky guys or gals out there, we want to make sure this thing is well protected.
In order to do that, we called on our friends at Covercraft and they pulled through, starting with a set of custom embroidered floor mats with our Power Stop Ultimate Challenger logo.
But it doesn't end there. We're also throwing in some custom Seat Saver HP seat covers, a UVS 100 custom sunscreen, and of course a custom Weather Shield HP 2-color car cover. All together, this package from Covercraft is going to keep this car looking great for years for the lucky winner of the Power Stop Challenger.
If you're looking for a used or rebuilt engine, transmission, or differential for your ride, then you may want to take a look at PowerTrain Products. They offer a 3-year unlimited mileage warranty on all of their differentials, whether it be for your muscle car or your tow rig like this one. They come fully assembled, tested, and packed in a crate like this for shipping. Chances are they have what you need in stock, so check them out at shopengines.com.
If you've got a rusty top because the elements have made their way through your vinyl top on a 67 to 69 Camaro or Firebird, AMD has roof skins. Made to OE specifications, this skin covers the entire roof area and mates from the A-pillars all the way back to the quarters. Auto Metal Direct offers the highest quality roof skins on the market, and they're certified by GM. Not to mention they're affordable too. These are only about $260. We're all out of time for now, guys, so until next time, y'all keep it between the ditches.